Lai Zhongping thought they were getting married. Startled myself, but one of the men underwent surgery in vain. He is the brother of that girl from earlier. His name is Song Rentu. I heard that he sent my younger sister home. So I specifically came here to invite Lai Zhongping to dinner. Thank him for being so kind. Lai Zhongping laughed again upon hearing this. Not only did they water the peach blossom moon, someone is inviting for a big meal. So I didn't decline. Happily followed them to their home. But when they reached their village, Lai Zhongping discovered the houses here are all very dilapidated. It seems like no one lives here. Song Ren too quickly explained. Their village is in Chekian. Most other families have already left. Their family will also move away in a few days. Lai Zhongping immediately exclaimed that he had stepped in da poop. I didn't expect to be a rich woman again this year. A few people walked for a while again, finally arrived at Jinling River. The table was filled with fine wine and delicious dishes. Lai Zhongping was not polite either. Just let go of the jaw and indulge in a feast. A whole table of dishes went into his stomach. He won't stop until he's drunk to the point of oblivion. The next day, Lai Zhongping woke up from his drunkenness half a year later. There was another wave of sharp pain. Looking down at my own belly, surprisingly, it looks as if it has been pregnant for 10 months. Their mouths were also stuffed with dirt and bugs. And he was lying in a big pit. Immediately, Lai Zhongping felt a sharp pain in his stomach. It feels like it's going to explode. He endured the excruciating pain as he dug out of the pit, but found himself at Jinling River. It was clearly an abandoned graveyard. I don't know how long this graveyard has existed. Was attacked by wild mold. Even the coffin is crooked and exposed outside. Lai Zhongping was so scared that he couldn't feel the pain, crawling and rolling back home. The villagers also noticed his growing belly. Everyone gathered at his doorstep to watch the excitement. They all say he did a wicked thing to women. That's how it became like this. Lai Zhongping's family took him to the hospital. After the inspection, inside Lai Zhongping's belly, discovered 8 large stones. There are still a pile of dirt and bugs. After this, Lai Zhongping finally understood. I'm afraid I've encountered a ghost. But I just don't know. These ghosts are really well-intentioned, but are causing trouble, just purely using him for amusement. Every night there are constant cries from outside the house. It turns out the man sings with the doll every night. Lai Zhongping, who lives in Qingdao. Recently, I encountered a difficult situation. He works for his job, rented a 50 billion hall house. Next door lived a young couple. This couple makes sounds every night, a heart-pounding sound that makes you blush. Lai Zhongping is tormented every day, listening to others. The man's name is Song Ren, and he looks very stern. The income from work is not high either. His character is also very despicable. He is a complete and utter loser. The woman's name is Jin Lion. So beautiful. I heard he's still a postdoctoral researcher. I don't know if it's because I find Song Ren's face appealing, actually willing to follow him, even though I can hear them singing every night. But Lai Zhongping has been living here for over 10 days now. I haven't seen the two of them even once. This made Lai Zhongping very curious. What does Jin Lion really look like? A rare opportunity. Lai Zhongping finally peeked through the crack in the door, saw the beloved Jin Lion. Although it's far away, I can still see through the crack in the door. I only saw a silhouette. But Lai Zhongping felt, I fell in love, before he could take another glance. Larry took his Song people's head, gave a fierce glare. That gaze looks extremely fierce, as if wanting to kill. This made Lai Zhongping feel very embarrassed. hastily pretended to leave and slipped away. After this moment, Lai Zongping never saw Sun Rentu again. A couple of days passed. A foul smell wafted through the rental apartment. I thought it was that lazy person who didn't throw out the takeout. It's gone bad. But later there was a time when Lai Zongping got up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. Jin Lion stood at the bathroom door. The lights are off. Just standing there stiffly. Blood is still dripping from my feet. He couldn't help but feel uneasy. How do girls get their periods? Is it all that exciting? Lai Zhongbing is lost in thought. Suddenly, I was pushed by the big brother next door. He was startled. When he turned back to look at the restroom again, there isn't even a shadow of a ghost there. Lai Zhongbing thought at that time, "Isn't it just that you long for Jin Lion?" I'm dizzy, although this is a strange door, but didn't think much more about it. The next day, Lai Zhongbing was still in a deep sleep, awakened by a loud noise. It seems someone is trying to break in. The door of the room where people are said to die. He pulled up his pants and ran outside, thinking that maybe I could see Jin Lion again. Just stepped out of the door. I just saw the entrance of the room where they were sending someone off. The maggots keep crawling outward. Not only that, a strong, foul odor hit me in the face. I don't know what this young couple is really doing. The room is a mess like this. I don't even know how to clean up. Just knows to sing every night. As Lai Zhongbing stared blankly at the maggots, the pair of dark circles under someone's eyes, pushed open a small crack before he could say anything. Then he was suddenly pushed hard by his older brother. Lai Zhongbing's small frame was directly pushed out. As the door opened, I finally met Jin Lion. He is still in the same position as that day, sleeping on the bed with their back to us. We're making such a big noise. Jin Lion hasn't woken up yet. It's quite strange. A person took advantage of the distraction while delivering the head, sneaked a glance at Jin Lion, but just as he poked his head out, just got startled. There is a person lying on the bed. It's just an inflatable doll, sending someone off like a treasure. Jump onto the bed to protect. What a peculiar person. Lai Zhongbing walked around the room. I couldn't figure out what was causing the smell. Once again, I stumbled into an embarrassing situation of giving away a free kill. Just planned to go out, but he just walked in front of the wardrobe. The wardrobe seemed to come alive, with just one eye open. Suddenly opened. Then a dark object. It fell straight down towards Lai Zhongbing. A foul odor followed closely behind, and countless writhing maggots. Lai Zhongbing, completely unprepared. The stinking golden lotus tumbled to the ground. The two almost kissed. Lai Zhongbing was so frightened that his soul seemed to fly away. He has grown up like this. I've never seen anything so heavy in taste. Crying out for help, he pushed Jin Lion aside. Even so, my body is still covered in wetness and maggots. The powerless big brother controls the sacrifice. Just held tight. Later, Lai Zhongbing learned from the police. It's because Jin Lion has had enough of sending heads. So I want to break up with him. He could offer his head but is a paranoid fanatic. Not only disagree. In a moment of desperation, he also killed Jin Lion. After the murder, he couldn't find a chance to dispose of the body. It was hidden in the wardrobe. As for that dummy, he did it on purpose. The purpose is to deliberately let us see. Hal believed that Jinlian was still singing with him every night. The man was born with an incredibly foul-smelling mouth. Everyone who has been sprayed by him. In a few days, they will lie dead on the spot. Lai Zhongbing has been an oddball since childhood. He was born with white fur all over his body. The adults in the village say he had a destiny in his past life. In this life I will become a white-haired monster. Not only that, he has another terrifying skill. He can predict others' life and death, as long as he says someone has a shadow following them. Then this person will definitely die within 3 days. Because of these characteristics, Lai Zongping often faced exclusion at school. Upperclassmen often gang up to bully him, often beat him until his face was bruised and swollen. That's the end of it. Lai Zhongbing had no way out either, can only silently endure their bullying. But once, Lai Zhongbing said to the person who led the bullying, "If you get followed, you won't be able to escape. Now let's see how you can bully me." Sure enough, the next day, the student who led the bullying of Lai Zhongbing, just before the divorce agreement was reached, 10,000 drowned. Lai Zhongbing was affected by this remark. The parents of the students caused a scene at the school, forced to drop out of school. From then on, no one ever saw him again. Goodbye, Lai Zhongbing is because I've recently encountered a headache-inducing issue. A few days ago, my girlfriend was writing at home, but suddenly saw something, fell on the balcony. She pushed open the window and looked out. It turned out to be a man. Fell to death on the clothes drying rack outside the window. He died a tragic death. All 4 limbs were deformed from the fall. Nose and mouth bleeding, especially from the neck. It feels like I have separated from my body, but it's just a layer of skin, still hanging on the body. It was the night after. My girlfriend just saw. A person fell out of the window. Before she could react, a dark shadow appeared outside the window. The man pushed the window open with his hand. A head peeked out from the cover, twisted the body into a strange angle, climbing desperately into the room. My girlfriend was scared to death, hastily ran out to find me for help. I went in to take a look. The room is empty as a shadow, but my girlfriend has always been worried. To put her mind at ease, I asked a friend for help. I found a celebrity who specializes in handling such matters. It is said to have very keen eyes. The first time I laid eyes on this person, I recognized her because she also has a head of white hair. It is my elementary school classmate Lai Zhongbing. The difference is Lai Zhongbing now appears very confident. The gloominess of childhood is gone. He arrived after that, walked around in our house. It is true that something dirty has come in, but it doesn't matter. This is all because of my girlfriend a few days ago. Seeing that made me so scared that my soul felt unsteady. As long as you steady your soul, that's all that matters. But I didn't really believe what he said. Lai Zhongbing seemed to sense my distrust of him. He took out a gauze bag from his satchel. It seems to be filled with some kind of powder. He walked to the window. "Sprinkle powder everywhere. Let us know when you're done filming. You will be able to see it once the dust settles." Waited for a while. Indeed, many black handprints were visible. It looks like someone is coming through the window, climbing into the house. I finally believe Lai Zhongbing. Quickly asked him if he wanted to hold a mage's curve. He said. Lai Zhongbing casually said, "It's no big deal. Such things have always been a part of our lives. As long as the soul is settled. If you can't see it, then it's fine." After finishing speaking, he took out a string of coins from his bag. "Let my girlfriend take it. In a few days, the soul can be settled." After giving instructions, Lai Zhongbing said he still had something to do. Turn around and leave. I hurriedly caught up to send him off. Lai Zhongbing said there's no need to send me off. We will meet again in a few days. A few days later, it indeed turned out as he expected. A colleague of mine is being haunted by a ghost. The military came looking for Lai Zongping again. Sanzi sleeps with Giki every night, yet still wanting a trio of humans and ghosts. Last time, Lai Zongping, after I helped my girlfriend with her ghost encounter. I don't know who let the cat out of the bag. I also heard that I am very close to the master. The fortune teller sees a smooth path ahead. Those who want to maintain eternal youth come to me. They were all just small matters. But my colleague sent someone to their death. This matter is quite tricky, because he said, there is a female ghost who has followed him since childhood. I didn't think much of it when I was young. Even in dangerous times, this female ghost has saved him twice. You can gradually grow by sending people to their demise. He also started looking for a girlfriend to satisfy his needs. This female ghost was somewhat troublesome. She always acts like she's delivering a head. Invite the girl to my home, ready to do something. Matters of the heart. Good deeds that go unnoticed are bad deeds. Specifically targeting girls while they are baiting. Come out quietly, staring at them with his fierce eyes. In just a year, heads were sent flying. Scared away over 300 girlfriends by a female ghost. Each one got scared off before they could catch it. This made her extremely anxious. Later, she finally found someone bold enough, as the two people interacted. It has reached the point of discussing marriage. But on the night when the two decided to get married, the female ghost has struck again. She grabbed her friend's ankle. He directly pulled her off the bed, and so they sent someone off to his death and started living as bachelors again. She had no choice. Heard from the little flute girl. I know Lai Zongping. Come seek help from me. I found this to be truly remarkable. He invited Lai Zongping to go with him to see the head family. That evening, Lai Zongping asked her as soon as he saw the head being delivered, "Were you weak and sickly since childhood?" Sent to his doom, he was taken aback by her question. Absolutely amazing. Indeed, just as everyone said, he is a living deity. Then she said, I have been weak since childhood, when I was 5 years old, because I ate an extra bowl of rice. I fell seriously ill and almost died. Since that time, and then I never got sick again. Lai Zongping heard someone say sending ahead. He revealed an expression of complete understanding, so I didn't ask much more. The three of us arrived at the place to send someone off. As soon as the door opened, Lai Zongping said there is a heavy yin energy in the room. They also asked if we wanted to take a look. Such a strange thing. I certainly won't let it go. Lai Zongping took something out from her bag. Take out the cloth bag from last time. Pick up the powder inside. The morning sky looks so bleak. Many faint black wisps appeared in the room. Seeing everything in front of me. Thinking about the heartache of not having a girlfriend this year. Can't bear it any longer. Suddenly she cried out. Lai Zongping quickly tried to comfort her. Don't rush. This female ghost will not be silent. Wu Guo followed her. First, consider whether to send the head of the deceased mother. What kind of contract do you have with the female ghost? After pondering left and right, I still can't make sense of it. Just called a relative back home, as Lai Zongping expected. It was during the 5th birthday of the person who was sent away that a serious illness struck. His mother did it to save his life. Just married him a wife. Later, when his mother died, he was still young. This matter was never mentioned again. Sending someone off naturally doesn't know. I actually have a ghost wife. This ghostly wife has been by his side protecting him since childhood. One person and one ghost should originally. Married at the age of 18 when sending off the last head. But he didn't do anything at all. What bad luck! Looking for a girlfriend everywhere. The female ghost naturally did not agree, so they constantly made things difficult for Lai Ren's girlfriend. Understood the cause. The face of the person who brought bad news immediately fell. He felt this was a decision made by the adults without his consent. I was still young and didn't understand anything at that time. Now this female ghost is hindering him from finding a girlfriend. True love is better off just getting rid of him. Lai Zongping listened to this. The expression changed dramatically 3 times. With a gloomy expression, he said to the messenger, "This female ghost protects you from disasters and misfortunes. Rescue you and seize your child. If it weren't for her, with your earthly and heavenly fate, I don't know how many times I've died already. You not only dare not be kind to her, now, for personal gain, they actually want to get rid of her. I advise you to think it over again, to avoid suffering the consequences in the end." Upon hearing this, the person felt uneasy. The face has become even more saggy. He thought about it again. In the end, I decided to listen to Lai Zongping, marrying a female ghost. Later, Lai Zongping chose an auspicious time for her. White double happiness characters were pasted on the window. A table was placed by the bedside again. There are 2 white candles and a mirror on the table. They say as long as you deliver a head. Seeing the ghostly traces beside me through the mirror. A person and a ghost share the same bed for 1 night. This marriage is settled. From this point on, to send someone off, one must leave a record on the bed. Everything must be borne by his ghostly wife. 1 year later, sending someone off led to marrying the bride as desired. It's just that everyone doesn't understand. Why is there a haze on her forehead? Set up a blank game board. Zhao Rizzi brutally killed multiple people in China, only for human experimentation. Sewing spider tubes. The major crimes unit where Lai Zhongping works specializes in handling strange cases. On this day he received the most bizarre case in my life. The report was made by Jin Lion, who works at the cotton factory. Lai Zhongping rushed to the hospital to meet Jin Lion. He has been scared to the point of losing his sanity. According to Jin Lion, it was drizzling that night. He was pulled into a dark alley by his boyfriend. I originally wanted to do something good that no one would know about, but they entered the alley afterward. Yet in the darkness, heard the crunching sound of something being chewed. That sound is very crispy. Makes one drool with desire. Jin Lion was by the trash can. I saw a strange man. The person was curled up next to the trash can, naked, with my back to them. Jin Lion thought it was a homeless person rummaging through the trash for food. Just didn't take it to heart. Planning to continue doing good things with my boyfriend. But the next second, the person next to the trash can suddenly turned his terrifying face, with eyes full of white, staring intently at Jin Lion. At that moment, his mouth was stuffed with a bloody rat. This person can no longer be described as human. He was completely hairless, covered in stitches and scars. It feels like the whole person is pieced together. The monster seemed to be enraged by Jin Lion's glare, suddenly sprang out from the corner. At this moment, Jin Lion finally saw clearly. This person actually has 8 limbs. Like a spider, he revealed a mouth full of sharp teeth. It seemed that Jin Lion and the other person were rushing over, with a swipe of its claws. Jin Lion's boyfriend let out a wail and collapsed to the ground. Jin Lion took the opportunity to attack the monster while it was assaulting her boyfriend. Ran out from the alley. Lai Zhongping listened to the details of the incident. I remember a case I took on a few days ago. The person filing the report is a thief. His name is Song Rentu. I usually enjoy visiting other people's homes, getting some gifts. That day, Song Ren too was wandering aimlessly on the street. I saw a family pulling a barbed wire fence. I just felt there must be valuable treasures inside. After he figured out a way to climb over the wall and get in, but discovered that all the windows of this household, everything was nailed tightly with iron plates. Only one door remains for entry and exit. Song Ren took out his little tool. It took half a day to pry open the door lock. I originally thought it would be a land of gold and silver as soon as I entered. He pushed open the door and stepped inside, but found that there were only a few broken trash cans in the room. There's a nauseating smell. Song Ren's head never gives up. Entered another small room. The walls of this room are covered with various photos. In the middle there was a bed. It looks more like an operating room. As the Song people were puzzled, it seems like something moved on the bed, holding on to the mindset of not letting the thief escape empty-handed. Song Ren boldly gathered his courage. He lifted the white cloth off the bed, things that can be used with eyelids. But it left an unforgettable mark on his life. There is a person lying on the bed. He has 4 glasses. 2 arms were sewn onto his back, lying on the bed half dead. It looks like it won't live long. A Song person's head was taken by this monster in front of him. Frightened, he fell to the ground. Crying from laughter, I was so scared I almost wet myself, just as he was about to get up and run away. But my back bumped into another person's leg. This person saw Song Ren's head. Silently, he thrust the knife forward. Incompetent yet quick and reckless. Song Ren is, after all, from a family of thieves and historians. Since childhood I had the skill of running away on foot. Yet it is among the top. He forcefully pushed open the glasses rack. He dashed up the wall in one swift motion and ran away. I thought this matter was settled. Since Song Ren escaped, he always feels like someone is following him. You can still see outside the window while sleeping at midnight. There is a person with the surname Spider's shadow, lingering outside his door. After a few days of fleeing, I couldn't take it anymore. He went to the police station to confess and revealed everything. Zongping followed the description of Song Ren's head, arrived at that courtyard. Indeed, I found the operating room here. They also caught the glasses frame in the mouth of the Song person. But the humanoid spider monster had already disappeared. The glasses case was escorted by Zongping to the hospital for treatment. The whole time they were frowning and not letting their gaze wander. Seeing his expression, nothing more can be asked. Zongping's family sent personnel. He sensed that the spider monster would come to save the glasses rack. Indeed, it was late at night. A strange person emerged from the corner of the hospital. He looked very robust in his cloak. It is that terrifying human spider monster. This person moves swiftly. Even bullets can be easily dodged. In just a few moves, he took down 4 or 5 officers present. Directly headed to the ward where the glasses rack is located, Zongping rushed over to take a look. The spider monster hugged the glasses railing. They actually planned to jump directly from the 10th floor to escape. He watched as the 2 jumped to the opposite building. We're about to escape. He quickly aimed his gun at the strange person, although they all hit the spider monster. But it couldn't stop them from escaping. After the bullets are gone, I can only watch helplessly as the strange person and the glasses rack slowly disappear from sight. Just when Zongping was feeling down, the director extended a gun from behind him. Without hesitation, he fired a shot. Directly smashed the spider monster's brain, causing it to explode. Died on the spot, along with the glasses rack as well. The 2 people had a messy fight. Just as Zongping was lost in thought, The police chief spoke up to remind. Lai Zongping hurried to seal off the scene. This secret room must not be seen by the public. The spider monster and the glasses rack are both dead. The clues have also been interrupted. Lai Zongping could only rely on the materials found in the operating room. This document contains a portion in Japanese. And that human spider monster. It has also been confirmed in the data. It was the human experimentation conducted by the Japanese army back then. They used the bodies of the Japanese soldiers. The four axes are stitched together, creating such a being that is neither human nor ghost. I originally wanted to enter the battlefield, but before the experiment could succeed, the war ended. The Japanese army could only shamefully retreat back to their homeland. The eyeglass frame continued this research, and it seems the results are quite good. As for the monster he created, what is it used for? It remains unknown. Why does the big yellow dog light up at the sight of a woman? Why does the male protagonist's face look strained and his gaze appear dazed? Why old Wang next door is haunted by a female ghost and cannot find peace? It all started with a kidnapping and beheading incident. A few days ago, Lai Zhangping received a strange report. It is said that there is a famous chicken fairy nearby. I was abducted by a man. Lai Zhangping arrived at the scene and took a look. The man who kidnapped Chicken Fairy. It was the pale-colored Song Ren head. As a con artist, Lai Zhangping had heard plenty about Song Rentu's romantic escapades. But how did these two people get entangled together? This left Lai Zhangping somewhat perplexed. Is it possible that this Song Ren's timing is so off? Provoked, the Chicken Fairy arrived at the rooftop. Song Ren's head was facing the neck of the Chicken Fairy, still excitedly waving the knife. Kuzi shouted randomly for Jaizayan Gu to exorcise the ghosts for him. But the Chicken Fairy usually just selling fake medicine with tricks and deceit. That is where the real exorcism happens. Of course, it can't solve Song Ren's tricky problem. Song Rentu was pushed to his limits. They have kidnapped Chicken Fairy. Lai Zhangping couldn't help but laugh. Hastily spoke to Song Rentu. As a soldier, I embody righteousness and integrity. I'm most afraid of soldiers. He also proposed to be his hostage. Song Rentu has indeed heard of this saying. His mind is not suited for glory. Agreed to Lai Zhangping's suggestion. After Lai Zhangping exchanged it back, suddenly displayed fear, pointing at Song Ren's head behind. Stammering, he said there are ghosts. Song Ren felt anxious upon hearing this, immediately turned to look. Who knows, it was actually Lai Zhangping who was blowing him up. Lai Zhangping seized the opportunity. With a wave of his hand, he took control of Song Ren. After returning to the police station, the interrogation of Song Ren began immediately. I originally thought he was feeling guilty because he had killed someone. First instance awareness. Song Rentu claimed that he did not kill anyone, but he saw the murder scene. It turns out just a few days ago, Song Rentu met a character named Xiaohu Jinren on the street. The two people hit it off immediately. Immediately go to the hotel to prepare for singing. The good things haven't started yet. Suddenly, a series of urgent knocks interrupted. Song Rentu is very timid. Planned to escape by crawling out of the window, but he just hid outside the window. A man walked into the room and brought along a big yellow dog. This person said nothing. He directly took out a rope, held tightly onto the golden figure. Song Rentu was so scared that he didn't dare to make a sound. Ki Jinren knew he was right outside the window. Song Rentu saw the pleading gaze of the Jin people, frightened and feeling guilty. In a moment of distraction, my hand missed the catch. He fell straight down. Fortunately, the floor isn't very high. He wasn't hurt. not caring about the pain anymore. Crawling and rolling, he hid in the corner. After hiding for a while, quickly escaped back home under the cover of night. From that day on, Song Rentu was haunted by nightmares every day. He is becoming more terrifying each time. He couldn't stand being tangled up. He thought of asking Jai Zhanggu to help him exorcise the ghosts, and listened to the story of Song Rentu. Lai Zhongping hurriedly asked who that man was. However, Song Rentu said, "I have only known Jin Ren for a few hours," and the man's face was not clearly visible. "I only remember he had a big yellow dog." Lai Zhongping suddenly stood up after listening, run out of the interrogation room, because he remembers. A man appeared a few days ago, bringing a big yellow dog to report a case. He said his chest piece went missing. This big yellow dog is very special. As long as the female officer from the police station passes by, he will fly wildly, still want to pounce. Thinking of this, Lai Zhongping organized the personnel. "Hurry to the neighborhood where that man is," knocked on his door. As soon as Lai Zhongping entered the room, he smelled a strong scent, the strong smell of smoke and pickled vegetables. I saw that big yellow dog again, running drooling toward a room. Lai Zhongping called someone to open the door. In the center of the room, there was a huge pickled vegetable jar. It was sprinkled with coarse salt. The big yellow dog saw the pickled jar, immediately pounced over and rolled around, unexpectedly uncovered Jin Lion's head. As the body was lifted out, Jin Lion is nearly gone. The whole body was drenched by the big yellow dog. Nothing left. Even a few pieces of bone are missing. Jin Lion's husband, in the face of evidence, he acknowledged his cruel crimes. He suspected Jin Lion, put a green hat on oneself. So they came up with this extremely cruel method. Slowly let your big yellow dog handle the body. The 5 souls and wild ghosts hold a meeting in the alley, only to capture the child's soul. Let him doze off in class and his grades will drop. The company I work for, I have a boss, Sister Wang, who takes great care of me. She often arranges for me to travel on business alone, always taking advantage of when no one's around, throwing me a sulky glance. However, recently Sister Wang has encountered some troubling matters. It's her youngest son. Ever since being startled by a big yellow dog again, always feeling dazed and lacking energy. Academic performance has also declined significantly. Wang Jai truly had no other options. I heard again that I know. Nearby is the famous master Lai Zhongping. So they came to find me. That day I brought Lai Zhongping to Wang Jai's house. Saw her son Mingming. The child's little face is waxy yellow, still sporting a pair of heavy dark circles under the eyes. Looks like you've been through a lot. Walking is like a zombie shuffle. Lifeless. Lai Zhongping watched the child turn out like this, the brows furrowed. With his pale eyes, he slapped his face up and down, and pinched Mingming's fingers. Then I said to Sister Wang, who was still throwing me a sulky look, "Mingming was scared out of her wits by that big yellow dog. We must hurry to bring his soul back, otherwise in 2 days. Children may die if their soul is not at peace." I said goodbye to the alluring Sister Wen with Lai Zhongping. So they hurried to the alley where the big yellow dog was spotted. Even during the day, the alley looked very dark and scary. After walking in, it's a bit terrifyingly quiet inside. Only a few stray dogs, searching for food in the trash can. There are some burned paper ashes and offerings by the wall, scattered by the sudden gusts of eerie wind. Lai Zhongping only brought me along, strolled around the alley and then left. Then he took me straight to the supermarket. I grabbed some cigarettes and snacks from inside. Spent a fortune. When we came out of the supermarket, it has completely darkened. Lai Zongping hurriedly headed towards the alley with food in hand. They said they are going to pick up goods. I was left in doubt by what he said. I wonder how many wild spirits are in this alley. I can't believe I bought so many things. Lai Zhongbing seemed to sense my suspicion. He took out a small bottle from his bag, poured out a drop of blue liquid. Then it was applied to my eyelids. He said, "This is the tears of a cow. Can you let me see those wild spirits?" After speaking, he led the way into the alley. "Bless me as you walk along. Once inside, take the cigarettes and food. Dropped on the ground, it tugs at the heart. Never interact or speak with them." I quickly nodded and followed him inside. We walked one after the other, walking in the dark alley. Just walk along the way, meeting people. At first, there was nothing unusual, but soon I heard a crackling sound came from behind me. That sound is very crisp. It sounds like chewing on potato chips. I was scared to death, but was also very curious. I secretly turned my head to look behind. This really took me by surprise. Almost called out, "Only see behind me." Many people appeared out of nowhere. They are all squatting on the ground, like a starving ghost, stealing the snacks I threw. I was terrified to death by their appearance. Quickly turned to look for Lai Zhongping, but he has already gone far away, and I don't know when it appeared before me. A wild ghost emitting black mist appeared. He walked straight towards me. It seems they can't see me at all. This alley is very narrow. I saw that we were about to collide. I quickly said I couldn't finish watching. I regretted saying that. The wild ghost passed through my shoulder, suddenly turned around. The corners of my mouth have cracked wide open. Seems to be unbelievably happy. Then he suddenly lunged at me. At that moment, I had only one thought in my mind. That is, it's all because I'm too handsome. That's why the wild ghost is so happy. Just as I was lost in thought, when I feel like I'm being pulled out to be a scapegoat, a hand suddenly reached out from behind. That hand scattered a handful. All hit the wild ghost. The wild ghost immediately became intimidated, turned around and dashed away, ran away without a trace. Dealt with the wild ghost. Me and Lai Zhanbing. Finally, at the end of the alley, I found Mingaming's soul. At this moment, Mingaming was with two wild spirits, gathered to eat together. That look seemed both wronged and heart-wrenching. Very funny. Mingaming also seemed to feel it. "We are here, looking for him." He got up and wanted to go home with us, but he had just taken 2 steps. I was held down by the 2 wild spirits beside me. It seems Mingaming has become like this, thanks to these 2 wild ghosts. Lai Zhongping was also not polite. He directly took out 2 big handfuls of white rice, smashed fiercely at those 2 wild spirits. Just like that, I and Lai Zhongping are protecting Mingaming. We returned to Sister Wang's sexy house, watching Mingaming's soul enter the house. After bidding farewell to the alluring Wang Jai, we just turned back home. On the way back, I spoke with Lai Zhongping. Tomorrow I will go to my wife's family to visit her. Listen to what her family's ancestral spirit is saying. You often see a seductive female ghost wandering around. Lao Bai Deng forcefully played poker with the woman all night. After finishing, the woman hanged herself. Restless souls linger after death. What exactly happened? Jin Lion is at a place, working in a company full of male colleagues. There is only one female salesperson here. So basically every time I have a meal with a client, everyone calls her Jinlin. At first everything was fine, but once she went out for a social gathering and drank, but wore a pair of stockings from Paris. This made Jin Lion's immediate superior. I feel completely deceived. So she took advantage of the alcohol, intentionally getting Jin Lian drunk, then taking advantage of Jin Lion being drunk. Just took her to the hotel. So this 70-year-old man infringed upon Jin Lion. When Jin Lian woke up the next day, everything is already over. Not only was I forced to sing for an entire night, they were also filmed in a short video, sent to the work group. After experiencing such events, Jin Lion could no longer work properly. Originally, this matter was under her repeated forbearance. It has become a secret that everyone knows. But for some reason, these matters, unexpectedly, Jin Lion's husband found out. Her husband, despite everything, just divorced Jin Lion, leaving with the child without looking back. The stimulation of G203. Finally, Jin Lion couldn't hold on any longer. She felt she had endured endless humiliation, still not understood by my husband. So he hanged himself. This was originally accompanied by Jin Lion's suicide. Just let it go. But the matter was far from over. The room where Jin Lion hanged herself, ghostly disturbances began to occur frequently, as long as the person who later moves into that room. At midnight, one would see the ghost of Jin Lion. So the homeowner came to find me and Lai Zongping. He wants us to exorcise the ghosts for him. When Lai Zongping and I arrived at Uncle Song's house, it is already evening. Before Uncle Song could tell me, the haunted room is here. Lai Zongping quietly walked into a room. The room is decorated very simply, only some essential furniture. Lai Zongping glanced around. Suddenly, he said to me in a gloomy tone, "You want me to stay in this room for a night. Wait until the female ghost comes out before we talk." I was scared to death by his words, but I had no choice but to listen. When night fell, Lai Zongping sent me into the house. "Everything is set up. Let me just sleep peacefully." Although he spoke very casually, but I have flaws all the time. To sleep in the haunted bear house. How can I possibly sleep peacefully? But Lai Zongping doesn't care about my little thoughts. He gave me a wicked smile, turned around and left the house. Although I am afraid, at this point, we can only leave it to fate. So I steeled my heart, lying beneath the beam where this year's hanging took place. Perhaps it was just too much stress. I stared at the beam. I actually fell asleep. It was midnight. I was awakened again by a ticking sound. That sound is not heavy. It sounds sharp and jarring, like something dripping onto the ground. I opened my eyes and looked. A pair of pitch-black feet swayed above me, lying down in the wet. A lot of water droplets fell into my mouth. That taste is truly disgusting. I screamed in fright and shrank back. The female ghost also stuck out her long tongue. "Lick me in the morning," just as her tongue was about to touch my face. Lai Zongping, standing outside the door. He leaped forward in a single bound. She pinched it with both hands, radiating a greenish hue with crimson eyes. A single snap of the fingers sent the female ghost flying. Easily achieve it. After subduing the female ghost, Lai Zongping originally planned to send her to the afterlife directly. But the female ghost actually started to cry. Looks very pitiful. She said she died with great resentment. Not leaving here. Just waiting for my husband and son to come back. See you one last time. Lai Zongping saw her in such a pitiful state. Just find a black one. Let the female ghost in. Again, he pulled out a red string from the bag, wrapped around the umbrella. The next day, Lai Zongping and I brought the gold chain. heading to the neighborhood where her son lives. After waiting for a while at the school gate, finally saw the son of Jin Lion. The golden chain in the umbrella was also very excited, unexpectedly wanting to come out from under the umbrella in the scorching sun, with my husband and son. Lai Zhongping also realized her thoughts. Quickly dissuading the golden chain person, the ghost walks a different path. Then we continued under the umbrella, followed that father and son for a long way, the child in front. It seems she sensed the golden chain calling her. But when we turn back, all we see is ourselves under the umbrella. This can be considered a meeting between them, mother and son. Later, Lai Zhongping took the umbrella. Tell me, golden chain of wishes, when? Next, we just need to send her on her way to reincarnation. We arrived at a dried-up riverbed, then placed the umbrella on the ground. Lai Zhongbing took me and left. They say that here, actually, it's a transfer station later. Someone from the underworld will come to take her away, take her to where she needs to go. Do you know the consequences of offending a carpenter? I believe many people have heard of it. Some carpenters are skilled in certain verification techniques. If you are during the construction of the house, I have offended these master carpenters. She will set up a magical formation in your house. From then on, it may become a burden. Severe consequences lead to family ruin and loss of life. I was out with Lai Zhongping on a mission. Just ran into such an unlucky family. That person is the owner of the inn, named Songrentu. 10 years ago, when a huge investment was made to build this guest house. Because watching the carpenter is extremely difficult and slow, I just said a few more words to him. Who knew that the carpenter would? Because of just a few words, he just held a grudge against Songrentu, silently performed a victory verification technique in the guest house. But the unfortunate Songrentu, since the establishment of the guest house city, the leg suddenly became inexplicably lame. Even his child, and also limped without exception. The doctors at the hospital couldn't find any problems. The people in the village all say Songrentu did something disgraceful. Only then will one face retribution. Until 10 years later, we arrived at this guest house. Lai Zhongping sensed something was off as soon as he entered, after inquiring with the boss about the situation. So I brought a hoe. Let me dig up the ground beneath my feet. I listened to Lai Zhongping's words, exerted tremendous effort, finally broke through the floor tiles. After digging a little further down, a wooden box is revealed in the dirt. That box looks a bit old. It seems to have been buried here since the day the guest house was built. I truly admire Lai Zhongping. He can actually tell that something is buried underground. Lai Zhongping carefully opened the wooden box. I could only see inside. 4 wooden figurines were neatly arranged. Each one has male characteristics, but every wooden man's legs are broken. This seems to correspond as well. The children of Songrentu's family with crippled legs. Songrentu saw everything in front of him and completely believed Lai Zhongping's words. He never expected. Because of those few words I said back then, let your own children suffer. Songrentu figured out the reason. They also recognized Lai Zhongping's abilities. Quickly hugged his arm. He asked him to have a kind heart and help his own children. I thought the curse had lasted for so many years. Already deep in the marrow. It takes a lot of effort to solve. However, Lai Zhongping said, it's easy to cast a spell with this technique. Breaking the curse is easy, only at the moment of the curse breaking. The one who casts the spell will face backlash, minor calamity of bloodshed. Heavy consequences lead to untimely death. Songren was taken aback by Lai Zongping's words. Lai Ma sulkily said, "The carpenter from back then had already left a few years ago. Just because of a misstep, I fell into the cesspit. Drowned to death. He drowned in the cesspit for 3 days. It was only after getting close to the finals that my family found out." Lai Zongping listened without any reaction, just instructed Song Rentu to find a big mirror, then press the mirror on top of the box. Again, use 4 copper coins to weigh down the 4 corners of the mirror. After everything was arranged, Lai Zongping said to his boss, "The next day, restore the ground to its original state. The child's legs at home will take about a year and a half. It can be restored." He also specifically instructed Song Rentu, "This matter of deciphering the art of verification, you absolutely must not tell the 4th person. Thank you so much, Song Rentu," blowing at Lai Zongping. "Not only did they waive our rent, you treated us to a meal of instant noodles. The strong man sings every night for the widow. In less than a year, I became too weak to get out of bed." Lai Zongping, who lives in Qiuetian village, although ugly in appearance, but he excelled in physical strength. One person can accomplish the work of 3. Originally, Lai Zongping also had a wife. After a couple has been married for several years, his wife couldn't stand Lai Zongping's nightly disturbances. He was actually worked to death. Another unfortunate soul is Jin Lion from the same village. In Jin Lion's home, there were only 2 people, father and daughter. Father has been bedridden for years due to illness. It all depends on Jin Lion to manage the household chores. It was the year when Jin Lion turned 20. The village matchmaker came to propose a marriage to him. It is said that Song Rentu from the village has taken a liking to Jin Lion, wants to marry her. This Song Ren is also a sickly person, living until now relies entirely on the family's wealth to keep me alive, although Jin Lion did not want to marry a short-lived man. But for my father's illness, with the Song family's substantial wealth, after careful consideration, still married Song Ren too. After the Golden Lotus closed the door, every day is just about serving Song Rentu his medicine. The 2 only shared a room once on their wedding day. Naturally, there were no children, although the days have been tough on the heart. But thankfully, I don't have to go through that, living in a day-to-day struggle for food. But a few months later, Song Rentu kicked his legs, died. Youthful and beautiful Jin Lion became a widow just like that. Again, because there are no children, the Song family feared she would claim her inheritance, just chased her out of the house. The matchmaker found out. Lai Zongping and Jin Lion feel they are simply a match made in heaven. Can't say for sure if they are together. One can use poison to counteract poison. So, with the matchmaking of the chicken matchmaker, Jin Lion married Lai Zongping again. From then on, Lai Zongping lived a life of nightly revelry. Although Jin Lian's mother-in-law was very harsh, always deliberately making things difficult for her, Jin Lian still felt that she could marry Lai Zongping. It is simply a beautiful thing in the world. Good times don't last long. Half a year after Jin Lion married Lai Zongping, who has always been as strong as an ox, started coughing all day long. The whole person is gradually becoming weaker. This made Jin Lion's mother-in-law very anxious. Even though his son married a young and beautiful wife, it's been such a long time. Jin Lion's stomach is also unreliable. Moreover, her son was made sick and feeble by her, plus Jin Lion's previous husband. It was after she got married. Just died from illness. Jin Lion's mother-in-law. I feel that all of this is because of my son has to work during the day. At night, I will sing with Jin Lion all night long. That's why I gradually became weak and exhausted. While eating a lot and still not feeling well, Jin Lion's mother-in-law invited the village fortune teller. The fortune teller took a few glances. Lai Zongping lying on the hospital bed, her brows furrowed into a knot. Then hurriedly pulled Grandma Jinlian, hiding aside and whispering. The fortune teller said, "Jin Lion is a harbinger of misfortune. We must kill Lai Zhongping. Not only that, if we don't resolve him quickly, anyone in the house who still breathes will be killed by him. It's extremely toxic." Jin Lion's mother-in-law listened to the diviner's words. It took me a long time to come back to my senses, because in her heart a major event has been successfully organized. She wants to get rid of this menace. By evening, Jin Lion's mother-in-law specially made her a bowl of chicken soup. After deceiving Jin Lion into drinking the chicken soup, deceived her into the house again, lock her inside the room. Jin Lion lay down not long after. My stomach began to ache unbearably, as if being cut by a knife. Jin Lion propped herself up, wanting to go out and seek help. But at that moment, she realized the door had already been locked by the mother-in-law. I truly feel like I'm calling out to the heavens, but there's no answer. I call out to the earth, and it remains silent. On the night when Jin Lion was poisoned to death, Lai Zhongping's dog barked to wake him up. The next morning, bright and early, the neighbor came to check and found out. Anyone who could breathe in Lai Zhongping's family all died with blood flowing from their mouths and noses, especially Lai Zhongping on the hospital bed with his old mother. The death appearance is extremely frightening. Everyone opened their eyes wide and refused to close them. Yet Jin Lion, who should have died in the side chamber, at this moment he collapsed in the living room. Her nails are unusually sharp. Both hands are covered in blood, still wearing a smile on their face. It feels as if the great revenge has been fulfilled. Wafu is at home studying poker skills in the nude. Unexpectedly, the neighbor old Wan forcefully broke in to spar and push me out. Jin Lion, who lives in a village in Henan, but my husband passed away unexpectedly a few years ago. After my husband passed away, Jin Lion manages the household alone, big and small things. The day of the incident, Jin Lion is washing clothes at home. Coincidentally, Lai Zhongping from next door, coming to visit. So the two people, they chatted casually like this. Lai Zhongping and Jin Lion. The two are only a few years apart. However, Lai Zhongping had some hidden concerns. Still has not married a wife. At that moment, he saw Jin Lion, wearing a slightly smelly shirt. The lingerie inside is subtly visible. Moreover, after Jin Lion gave birth, her figure was exceptionally voluptuous. With him vigorously scrubbing the laundry, the scene before me, unexpectedly, Lai Zhongping felt somewhat unable to control himself, suddenly blushed. But his eyes, it can't be wiped away from Jin Lion's chest. After an afternoon of washing my face, in Lai Zhongping's heart, I can no longer let go of Jin Lion. Even when sleeping at night, it's all in my mind. Jin Lion's body stirred the clothes. Just tough it out for a few hours. Lai Zhongping finally made up his mind. He suddenly sat up from the bed. I planned to sneak over to take a look. What is Jin Lion doing? Lai Zhongping took advantage of the darkness. A person quietly arrived behind Jin Lion's house, jumped over the wall and got in. Lai Zhongping originally thought Jin Lion should. Fell asleep early. What he didn't expect was Jin Lion unexpectedly stripped off all her clothes, watching television alone in the house. The content on the television, it makes one's blood boil even more. Lai Zhongping, a man who has not yet married. I've never seen a paid scene like this before. He hid behind the curtain, after secretly watching for a while, finally unable to hold back, rushed into Jin Lion's bedroom. Suddenly it launched a vicious attack, caught Jin Lian off guard. Even the short films on TV didn't have the chance to appreciate. However, Lai Zongping ultimately had nothing. Practical experience. The battle ended in just 3 minutes. Afterward, Jin Lian cried out that she was not satisfied. Report Lai Zongping for rape. Lai Zongping was afraid that his achievements would be spread, mocked by the villagers. Then I steeled my heart. Use your own belt to bind Jin Lian. Suffocated in the blanket. The next morning, Jin Lion's mother-in-law brought her grandson back home. The child rushed in eagerly, straight to the bed with Jin Lion. It shook a few times. Jin Lion had no reaction at all. The mother-in-law walked forward, lift the blanket and take a breath. Caught my eye. It turns out to be the daughter-in-law's body, a naked body covered in scars. However, after the police investigation, this bizarre case, in the end, it was finally exposed. Lai Zongping hid in the deep mountains for 3 days, still successfully captured by the police. Facing the police, Lai Zongping's thoughts on himself, a crime committed in a moment of impulse, recognized and unrepentant. In the end, Lai Si also wants to remind everyone, do not act on a moment of impulse. Return to one's own life and the lives of others. Have you heard that cats are actually very spiritual? At first, I didn't believe it either, until I met Lai Zongping, encountering this clever little cat. The incident happened at my colleague Jin Jai's house. Jin Jai said she suspects Kiki's ghost has come to her home. Kiki is a child in the neighborhood. I usually enjoy spending time with my parents. Rescue those stray kittens and puppies. He is a very likable child. Just a few days ago, Kiki and her friends played hide and seek. As a result, she hid away and never came out again. The adults searched everywhere inside and outside the community. I didn't see Kai Kai's shadow either. After the police arrived, suspecting that a human trafficker has abducted the child, this matter gradually faded away. 3 days after Kai Kai went missing, strange things began to happen at Sister Jin's house, especially her cat. Originally, the cat always slept with Jin Jai, but somehow, these past few nights, when it's time to sleep, just keep running to the living room. That day, Sister Jin was alone, just burrowed into the cold blanket. Then I heard the sound of children crying, sounds from the living room. That voice sounds very eerie. Jin Jai quietly opened the door, looking towards the living room. The living room is empty. Is there anyone there? The next night, Sister Jin was still at home, discovered a series of children's footprints. The footprints lead straight to the refrigerator in the kitchen. Sister Jin rushed over to take a look. I was surprised to see the refrigerator door open. There are quite a few new snacks missing inside. Sister Jin felt that all of this was strange. It's all because of the missing child, Kiki. She arrived at Jin Jai's house. So she approached me and Lai Zongping. I hope we can help her deal with this matter. Lai Zongping understood the course of events. I looked around Jin Jai's house. Even Lai Zongping couldn't see any significance. It seems this situation is quite tricky. In desperation, Lai Zongping had no choice but to bring out high-tech products. Surveillance camera in the living room. Plan for the evening. Take a good look at what will happen at Jin Jai's house. After Lai Zongping and I left, outside the community, to smell the fragrance for half a day. Finally, it was hard-earned to wait for night to fall. However, it was discovered that Jin Jai's cat appeared in the surveillance footage. He is sticking out his butt, walked skillfully to the refrigerator, opened the refrigerator. After carefully selecting inside, holding a bag of snacks, walked towards the living room window. Then we saw Jin Jai's cat opened the window with its paw, entering from the air conditioner on the wall, jumped to the second floor balcony, like flying eaves and walking on walls. A few little cats jumped down to the ground, swiftly darting out of the community. This operation has completely captivated me. Lai Zongping quickly caught up with a swift stride. I just realized Lai Zongping was chasing the kitten, arrived at a demolition site outside the community. There are many old houses that have been knocked down here. The environment is very complex. The kitten darted a few times. Just squeeze into a gap in the brick wall. The figure has disappeared. Lai Zongping is outside. Quickly dialed the rescue number. After the police arrived, moved aside the scattered brick wall, found an abandoned sewer inside. In the sewer, Zhang discovered the cat at Jin Jai's house. And the long missing Kiki. Kiki has many food packaging bags around her. It looks like a kitten. While playing outside, discovered Kiki who fell into the well. So I stayed at Sister Jin's house. Dropped snacks for Kai Kai. Thanks to the kitten's feeding, Kiki can only survive. Later, Lai Zongping said to me, in fact, cats can be said to be the best in the world, the most spiritual animal. It's just facing the cat's sea. They are unwilling to go, thus giving the world a sense of the illusion of a dumb cat. Do you have any stories about the spirituality of your little cat? Welcome to leave a message in the comments section. The man is unhappy playing poker every night with his ugly wife. He sought a bizarre talisman to swap heads with his wife. This is a true story from our side. Lai Zongping is a well-known good-for-nothing in our village. I usually enjoy having a drink. That day he went out for drinks as usual. But the next morning, was severely scolded by his wife, Jin Liang, because in Lai Zongping's embrace, surprisingly holding a wooden plaque. Lai Zongping looked at this memorial tablet, recalling a rumor from their village. On a rainy night just a few years ago, the widow of the village had her house struck by lightning. Unexpectedly gathered everyone. The widow usually lives alone and doesn't interact with others, always mumbling mysteriously. Everyone is afraid to provoke Tang. The fire is known. The villagers all rushed to help put out the fire. Unexpectedly, the fire was too intense. When the flames are extinguished, the widow has already been burned to ashes. The house was in complete disarray. Only a plaque placed on the table, yet remains completely intact. Not even a speck of ash fell. This strange scene. The villagers felt extremely anxious. From that day on, no one dared to step into the chicken widow's house again. Lai Zongping drank too much last night. Passing by the home of the hen widow, I actually heard someone shouting inside the house. Ask him to take out the memorial tablet. Lai Zongping, in high spirits, sought to entertain. Ghosts are unpredictable. They actually went in and brought the tablet home. Lai Zongping looked at the tablet in his arms. Feels quite unlucky. So they decided to just throw it into the trash. Just as he was about to throw it away, in Lai Zongping's ears, a voice suddenly rang out. That voice sounds incredibly alluring. It is clear that the village will face a severe drought next year. Lai Zongping should cook more grain. At that time, sell the grain at a high price. You can strike it rich. Lai Zongping is also quite bold. As soon as I heard I could get rich, immediately thanked. He gritted his teeth and borrowed a lot of money. stewed several rooms of grain. Not only that, Lai Zhongbing also placed the memorial tablet, secretly offered up. When the second year arrived, it really did predict the outcome accurately. Lai Zhongbing hoarded the grains, sold at a high price, made a huge profit. From then on, Lai Zhongbing was devoted to the tablet, just like treating the deity, daily incense offering and worship. One evening, then the tablet suddenly spoke. Lai Zhongbing should hide his wealth and escape quickly. Someone has set their sights on his family's wealth. We need to rob him. Lai Zhongbing's words to the tablet. I won't give in again. Leaving overnight with family and money. Hide outside the village. Indeed, it was night time. Several masked men broke into his home. After just a brief looting and smashing, did not find anything valuable. Soon after, they set off again overnight. Lai Zhongbing escaped a disaster, kneeling quickly in front of the ancestral tablet. However, the tablet said, I have already helped Lai Zhongbing twice. Help me one last time. Lai Zhongbing's kindness has been repaid. Lai Zhongbing thought long and hard. He feels he has money now. Only my wife is particularly displeasing this year. He feels that this year's appearance is coarse, not worthy of my current self. Then Lai Zhongbing had a devious thought, requesting a plaque for Jin Lion, change to a beautiful face. That night, Lai Zhongbing went to bed. Jin Lion still looked as foolish as a pig, but by the next morning, Lai Zhongbing took another look. Jin Lion has already transformed into a beautiful young woman. There's just a ring of scars around the neck. It looks like someone else's head, like pressing down on Jin Lion. It looks very strange. However, Lai Zhongbing did not care about these. He feels like a winner in life. Not only is she wealthy, but she is also incredibly beautiful. But I just don't know. The present Jin Lian, is it considered dead or alive? Sanzi provides late night service. Unexpectedly, missing the beautiful lady. Lai Zhongbing grew up in a medical family, and as if silent. Lai Zhongbing after growing up, naturally, I embarked on the path of studying medicine. After graduation, opened a traditional Chinese medicine clinic. But in terms of traditional Chinese medicine, people prefer traditional Chinese medicine practitioners. Lai Zhongbing has a baby-faced appearance, making everyone who comes for treatment feel unreliable. After a long time, there are still no customers. Lai Zhongbing sought to solve the problem of basic needs, then began to stray from the right path, started offering home service, relying on one's own abilities, surprisingly popular. That day, Lai Zhongbing received a phone call. The woman's voice on the phone was extremely alluring. She said she needs home service, but Lai Zhongbing will come back at 3 in the morning. Lai Zhongbing felt something was strange, but that woman offered an exorbitant price for her services. Upon hearing about the huge amount of money coming in, Lai Zhongbing suddenly felt, it must be that I provided too good of a service. That's how I ended up meeting this wealthy woman. Lai Zhongbing hurriedly went to the address mentioned on the phone. He was both excited and worried, afraid of encountering that kind of situation, ugly in appearance. When the door opened, what appears before the eyes is A, wearing a pink swimsuit, delicate face, a woman with a voluptuous figure. Lai Zhongbing let go of his anxious heart, entered the room with great joy. After entering the house, Lai Zhongbing felt that the room was very dim and warm. It's like stepping into an impenetrable forest. And there's a strange smell, always floating in the air. Lai Zhongbing felt that this place was a bit unusual. Just thinking of a quick resolution. Who knows? After a brief exchange of a few words between the two, but the woman said, Actually, I came to see Lai Zhongping for a check-up just 2 days ago. There is something inexplicable on her back. Many red spots have appeared and cannot go down. Speak up." The woman turned her back, took off the pajamas. The entire back was laid bare before Lai Zhongping. Lai Zhongping leaned in to take a closer look. Suddenly startled, there are red spots on the woman's back. Clearly, it's a damp stain. The woman noticed Lai Zhongping behind her but remained still. She turned back to ask him what was wrong. "Is it hard to see clearly? Why not touch it and see?" Lai Zhongping's wild imaginings, interrupted by a woman's words. He reached out his hand, tentatively reached towards the woman's back. I originally thought the smooth, warm back. At this moment, it feels extremely cold, like an ice cube. Through palpation, Lai Zhongping has confirmed it completely. Behind this woman is a wet stain, and she felt cold to the touch, although the face is beautiful. However, looking closely now, it feels very unnatural. Lai Zhongping has at least seen dead people. The psychological resilience is very strong, and also deal with damp spots. He really has a folk remedy. So Lai Zhongping gave the woman a prescription. The woman was very happy to receive the prescription. Lai Zhongping was granted a visit to the palace after the Empress Dowager's demise. He was just invited out of the house. The third day after Lai Zhongping returned, I accidentally discovered a piece of news on my phone. The news said that in the rich lady's neighborhood, a suicide case occurred. The person who committed suicide, it was the woman from 3 days ago, just when Lai Zhongping felt very scared. Suddenly, the doorbell at his home rang. Lai Zhongping just opened the door. A cold wind rushed towards me. The person who just arrived is the woman who committed suicide in the news. At this moment, he was still wearing the pink water outfit, with a face full of smiles. "Thank Lai Zhongping. He said he has a terminal illness. Medicine is not an astronomical figure. There's really no way out. So they chose to commit suicide. Thanks to Lai Zhongping this time, I didn't let my husband, who is on a business trip, discover any flaws." The two shared a warm night together, the last thought of a woman. Now she is carefree. You can be assured in your reincarnation. When leaving, the woman did not forget to say a word to Lai Zhongping, wishing him prosperous business. But a true practitioner of medicine, how could one hope for their business to thrive? The man possesses an indestructible body. Transfer the female believer, following the path of immortality. Lai Zhongping recently took on a tricky case. That is, capture the leader of the cult organization, Song Rentu. This Song Rentu is local. It's quite famous. 170 years of age, claiming to be immortal, bewitched many blind followers. There were quite a few young women among them. After these women joined the sect, brainwashed by Song Ren, as long as I practice with him, you can obtain his power of immortality. Not only strengthens the body, can forever preserve youth. Lai Zhongping led the team to the village where Song Rentu was hiding, directly settled in front of the residential door. But these two men in plain clothes, it seems to be a follower of Song Rentu. Lai Zhongping aimed to successfully capture Song Rentu, already brought people to tread the ground. At this moment, a command was given. Several agile team members, crowding up with Lai Zhongping. In just a few moments, he subdued the two guards. Easy U-turn. A group of people rushed into the house, but only saw Song Rentu is alive. Two pleasant-looking female believers are practicing. The scene had an air of obsession about it. This Song Rentu is clearly over 100 years old, but looks very young. Although my face is full of wrinkles, I am still lively. The body is very strong. especially when he stood up completely naked. Surprisingly, I had 8-pack abs. But these abs, against the backdrop of wrinkled fabric, yet appeared quite eerie. Song Ren's head was utterly disdainful in the face of the capture. He even threatened, "Even if the police catch them." But there's nothing to be done about him. Lai Zongping brought Song Rentu back to the police station. Haven't questioned much yet. Song Rentu took the initiative to confess all of one's sins, including how to swindle money, deceiving the ignorant girl, teaching people to commit suicide and seeking immortality, etc. Song Ren's arrogant demeanor thoroughly angered Lai Zhongping. In the end, Song Ren was sentenced to death according to the law. Even if I am sent to the gallows, Song Rentu still had that arrogant demeanor. With a few gunshots ringing out, Song Ren should have atoned for his sins right then, still playfully laughing out loud. The people's bullets couldn't harm him at all. Now Song Ren's arrogance grew even bolder. He laughed heartily, looking up at the sky. Also claims to be a deity in the world. No weapon can harm him. Lai Zhongping was at a loss. We can only take Song Rentu back to the cell for now. Later, Lai Zhongping visited Old Liu from Research Institute 703. This 703 Research Institute specializes in researching mysterious unknown events. Lao Liu's experience is truly remarkable. As expected, Lai Zhongping was right. Lao Liu carefully examined the talisman on Song Ren's body and said, "This seems to be a type of shamanism from Myojie. The name is Vajra Mantra, to cover the entire body with talismanic symbols. It will take a few years. Moreover, the ink for this tattoo, mixed with deadly poison. Very few people can hold on. But as long as the charm is successful, you can transform into an indestructible body. It can be said to be impervious to blades and bullets." Old Liu pushed his glasses and continued to speak. "But to break this spell, it's also very simple. Just use the urine of a child. Fire the bullet cannon. It can be easily cracked." Upon hearing this, Lai Zhongping and the police chief exchanged glances. All are thinking in their hearts, "This spell has endured so much suffering. It turns out all you need is a boy's urine. Then it can be cracked. Although we have doubts, but with a try-and-see attitude, still made ample preparations." The next day, Lai Zhongping escorted Song Ren again to the execution ground. When Song Ren first saw the visitor, and so the mocking began. Words spoken should resonate and uplift many people. Arrived at the execution ground, Song Rentu still felt no remorse, and laughed, saying, "The director uses bullets of justice. Give him a little scratch." The director doesn't waste words either. Raise the gun to Song Ren's forehead. Just one shot. This time, people's bullet easily defeated the evil thoughts. Song Ren believed until this point. His own mantra will keep him safe, just like those brainwashed beliefs. Believing in self-immolation is still a belief. One can achieve immortality. At this point, the case of Song Ren's undying head is now closed. This case has also been classified as top secret. The burnt corpse of a man resurrects and elopes with his mistress. A woman falls in love with someone else, but mysteriously disappears. Lai Zhongping from the Fang family. There was once a happy family. It is regrettable that, on January 23rd, Lai Zhongping, however, was involved in a car accident, burned to a crisp. It was originally just a tragedy caused by an accident. However, Lai Zhongping's wife discovered her husband was here before. He unexpectedly purchased a large insurance policy. At the same time, the police received another report. The reporter's name is Jin Lion. She claims to be with her friend. on the night of January 23rd while taking a walk, hit by a van, and the driver of this van, it is Lai Zongping, who has been burned to charcoal, Jin Lion said. After the two were hit, Lai Zongping got out of the car. Jin Lion's friend Song Ren too dragged onto the van. Before leaving, she reminded Jin Lion, "I will take Song Rentu to the hospital for treatment. Tell her not to worry." But from this point on, Jin Lion never heard from Song Rentu again. Now Lai Zhongping is dead. Song Rentu's whereabouts have completely become a mystery. Song Ren's friends and family can only post a large number of scholarly insights online. I hope to harness the power of the internet. Find the whereabouts of Song Rentu. Believe in the friends around the house. You must have seen it in your friend circle back then. The scholar's revelation in search of Song Ren's head. A few days later, the police discovered during their interrogation of Jin Lion. Jin Lion actually has a boyfriend. Her relationship with Song Rentu is also quite ambiguous. That night, I went out for a walk with Song Ren. Let Jin Lion break up with her boyfriend Yang Wai. Later, the police discovered during their investigation Jin Lian's boyfriend Yang Wai. It was long discovered that Jin Lion and Song Ren too had a connection. She had even threatened Song Ren too for this. Yang Ying wants to kill her as the third party. Moreover, Yang Wai and Lai Zhongping were actually middle school classmates. This led the police to suspect for a time. Yang Wai bribed Lai Zhongping to commit murder. The two then disagreed with each other. Yang Wai, in a fit of rage, killed Lai Zhongping. But just then, the forensic expert discovered through DNA comparison the charred male corpse is not Lai Zhongping, but rather the missing Song Ren too. This made the already puzzling case even more mysterious, more intricate and complex. At the same time, Lai Zhongping's wife received a strange phone call. The man on the other end of the phone unexpectedly reminded him, "Go to the insurance company to collect the large accident claim." But when Lai Zhongping's wife inquired further, the man hurriedly hung up the phone. The police followed this lead. Visit Lai Zhongping's workplace again. Unexpected discovery. On the day of the accident, Lai Zhongping once had a relationship with a woman, spent over an hour alone in the van. The woman tidied up her clothes. Not long after getting off the car, Lai Zhongping had a car accident. Later, during the interrogation by the police officer, the woman finally revealed the truth. It turns out she had been having a secret affair with Lai Zhongping. The two meet secretly every day. As time goes by, the two just want to be together for real, but they all have families. We can't easily get a divorce. So Lai Zhongping thought of faking his own death. Then a way to fly far away. Lai Zhongping first bought a huge insurance policy for himself. After the secret meeting with the woman, driving on the road searching for a scapegoat, just in time to see Jin Lion Yu deliver a severed head, walking in a sparsely populated area. Just then, the two collided into darkness. Then drag the head of the person onto the car, disguise as oneself in a burning van. Let's dispose of the body. This way, one can be with their feelings, free from worldly troubles, completely become a divine couple. But Lai Zhongping thought his plan was perfect. Not only did it harm the innocent messenger, and also harmed his own wife and children. In the end, Lai Zhongping was charged with intentional homicide, sentenced to death. The man plays poker with his mistress every night. After getting pregnant, I personally fed myself a large amount of abortion pills. Lai Zhongping has been married for 10 years. The wife who has not yet become pregnant. I originally thought that in this lifetime, both of them have no children left. But then the wife suddenly got pregnant. Lai Zongping was naturally full of anticipation for the child. Pregnancy is a time of careful nurturing. The nurses at the hospital all say Lai Zongping is a good husband. On the day of delivery, Lai Zongping finally waited for it. The long-awaited son. The moment I saw the child, Lai Zongping was completely terrified. The child was in his arms. Don't cry or fuss. Her face had transformed into that of another woman. A pair of eyes with almost no whites. Smiling with bared teeth, Lai Sheng asked Lai Zongping, "Why don't you want me?" Lai Zongping saw that face in an instant. He went mad and threw the child away. "Turn and run," still mumbling indistinctly. "Don't kill, don't kill." Lai Zongping rushed out of the hospital, charging recklessly across the road, was hit by a car and thrown out, died on the spot. So what exactly did Lai Zongping do? Who is that woman who suddenly appeared? This story begins 2 years ago. At that time, Jin Lion had just graduated, struggling alone in the big city. Here, she has no relatives or friends. It's also the fate of natural enemies. Jin Lion met her boss Lai Zongping. The two felt like old friends upon first meeting. Although Lai Zongping is 10 years older than her, but faced with Lai Zongping's warm inquiries, Jin Lion fell in love with her without hesitation. Just like that. The two quickly began their cohabitation life. It wasn't long before Jin Lion became pregnant. But Lai Zongping said, "The matter is still on the rise. Let's wait until everything stabilizes. The two want to have another child." Jin Lion for love, listening to Lai Zongping's nonsense. I went to the hospital to terminate the pregnancy. In the days that followed, the two continued to sing every night without stopping. Not long after, Jin Lion became pregnant again. Lai Zongping still used to. It's not about wanting a child as an excuse. Persuade Jin Lion to terminate the pregnancy. This time, Jin Lion still chose. Listen to Lai Zongping's words. This was not long ago. An unexpected opportunity. Jin Lion discovered Lai Zongping, who sings every night to himself. They are actually already married. Jin Lion was unaware, became the third party. But at this moment, Jin Lion, I had already resigned and lost my income. Can't do without Lai Zongping at all. So Jin Lian could only continue to rely on Lai Zongping. He hopes he can divorce his wife. Give yourself a title. Just like that. In 2 years, Jin Lion had 3 abortions for Lai Zongping. Until the 4th child. Jin Lion originally planned to continue. But the doctor told him, if this pregnancy is terminated, Jin Lion could no longer conceive. This time, Jin Lion was completely taken aback. He talked to Lai Zongping afterby. Lai Zongping finally revealed his ugly true self. He has been out of sight for several months. In the 5th month of Jin Lion's pregnancy, Lai Zongping has finally appeared. He claims he is getting a divorce from his wife. He also said he wanted to give Jin Lian a complete home. By nightfall, Lai Zongping personally cooked. He said he wanted to make up for this time. The neglect of Jin Lian. Facing Lai Zongping's enthusiasm, Jin Lian has also become very thin. For love, he slammed down a few bowls of chicken soup. After the chicken soup was poisoned, Jin Lian suddenly had a sharp pain in her stomach. At this moment, Jin Lian finally understood. It turned out that Lai Zongping had put in the chicken soup for her, mixed with abortion pills. Lai Zongping saw Jin Lian having an episode, laughing joyfully yet eerily, because he finally broke free. Jin Lian, this burden. Lai Zongping doesn't care about Jin Lian's life or death. He pushed her away and walked off. A few days later, poor Jin Lian was found dead in her home. The cause of death was an overdose of abortion pills. Caused death from severe hemorrhage. In the end, Lai Zhongping also faced retribution, received the punishment they deserved. Just don't know about Jin Lion. With his 4 children, can we let Lai Zhongping go now? A man is holding his girlfriend tightly on the bridge at night. Looking down, I saw my girlfriend engaging in a scandalous act in the river. In surprise, I realized that my girlfriend in my arms was cold. Lai Zhongping and Jin Lion are a sweet couple. Even the best lovers have their disagreements. Jin Lion had a fight with her boyfriend that day, going to the bar alone for a drink. But drowning sorrows in alcohol only deepens the sadness. Jin Lion, feeling even sadder, walked alone to the bridge. She leaned against the railing, gazing at the water's surface. Thinking more and more about the past with Lai Zhongping makes me sad. I couldn't help but start cursing my boyfriend as a jerk. She cried and shouted loudly at the river's surface. The river's surface reflected her beautiful face. Jin Lion gazed at the water's surface. It's hard to find the mud. Yet Lai Zhongping is so ugly. Do you deserve the beautiful version of yourself? Suddenly, a woman said beside him, "Is it worth it?" The woman looked sorrowful, her face filled with grief. Jin Lion, who was heartbroken. She suddenly appeared without anyone noticing. But the woman thinks the same. Men are all fickle-hearted. It is believed that she has also been hurt emotionally. Jin Lion felt an instant connection with women. 2 people can also be considered as having the same name and falling in love. She cried and asked the woman what she should do. She still can't let go of her boyfriend. The woman immediately suggested calling her boyfriend. Jin Lion is worried that her boyfriend won't come over. The woman suggested, then threatened with this: "If she doesn't come over, jump into the river and end it all right here. If she comes back, it means she still cares. If you don't come then." The woman's words were left unfinished, carrying a deep meaning. But Jin Lion could no longer think about so much. The woman's words touched her. She wants to know if her boyfriend still cares about her well-being. Then Jin Lion immediately gave Lai Zhongping, "Say, if you don't come over, I will jump into the river to end my life." Quanren didn't notice the woman's eerie smile. Jin Lion even smiled through her tears. Lai Zhongping was very anxious on the phone. He happily wrapped his arm around the woman's shoulder. He sincerely thanked the woman for her suggestion. At that moment, he noticed the woman's body was very cold. So I asked my sister with concern, "Are you cold?" The woman remained silent for a while. Then suddenly Jiang Ming fell into the water. Of course it was cold. Jin Lion was startled by what the woman said. A vague fear was born, stained in darkness. At this moment, the woman's eyes streamed with 2 lines of blood. Jin Lion was so frightened that she kept stepping backward. In a moment of panic, I didn't notice. We have arrived at the bridge. Then, because of the rapid retreat, fell headfirst into the river. In an instant, the entire bridge returned to silence. When Lai Zhongping anxiously ran over, Jin Lion was surprisingly unharmed, still lying on the bridge. He said to Lai Zhongping, "You arrived quite quickly." Lai Zhongping said, "You are going to jump into the river. Can I not be fast?" Jin Lion couldn't help but laugh upon hearing these words. Lai Zhongping was surprised to see his usually willful girlfriend so gentle, could not help but speak another round of sweet nothings. At this moment, he noticed that Jin Lion's body seemed to have undergone some changes. Jin Lion spun around and asked him if she looked good. Lai Zhongping quickly praised once again. At that moment, he suddenly saw something floating in the water. Then Jin Lion began to talk to herself. when I was about to jump into the river. He actually urged me to jump quickly. Then, before Lai Zongping could react, Jin Lion embraced Lai Zongping. The two people exchanged sweet nothings. Lai Zongping felt that Jin Lion's body was cold. At that moment, something floating in the river surfaced. It turns out to be my girlfriend in my arms. Lai Zongping felt a chill. The girlfriend in my arms suddenly transformed. Suddenly, a splashing sound came from the river. The next day, two bodies were discovered in the river. The two people's hands were tightly clasped. But for some reason, the woman's body has aged much more than the man's. After the lights go out, harassing my sister-in-law every night. This is a true story. Lai Zongping, just over 50 years old. Originally, I could enjoy a wonderful retirement life, but because of his relentless pursuit of playing mahjong day and night, unexpected passing. After Lai Zongping's death, his wife Jin Lion, not only not sad, still very happy, because Lai Zongping was still alive at that time. Every day is about smoking, drinking, and playing mahjong. Even when drunk, I still hit Jin Lion hard. Not only that, Lai Zongping always takes advantage of, especially towards his sister-in-law, often offer kind comfort. This left everyone at home deeply frightened. Lai Zongping passed away unexpectedly. Jin Lion buried him overnight. A few days after the burial, Jin Lion began to dream of Lai Zongping every night. Lai Zongping in the dream was wearing a beast costume. The shark teeth of the button looked very terrifying. He shouted at Jin Lion, "Why bury him alive?" He also said that if he wasn't released soon, I will perish together with Jin Lion. Jin Lion was so frightened by Lai Zongping that she couldn't sleep at night. But he still couldn't grasp the situation. He just feels that Lai Zongping is used to hitting and scolding him. So even after death, there is still entanglement. Then Jin Lion sought out the village master. The master said to find 7 peachwood stakes, inserted into Lai Zongping's eye. Then he can suppress his ghost. Jin Lion, indeed, stopped dreaming about Lai Zongping after following through. He Jin Lian's sister, Jai Yang, but she began to be haunted daily by her brother-in-law's ghost. Often harassed by my brother-in-law while alive. I originally thought I would never have to face it again. That disgusting face. As a result, Lai Zongping still refused to let go of him after his death. In the dream, Lai Zongping still appeared sleazy. He looked at Jai Yang with a flirtatious gaze. At first, I begged desperately, "Just let him out, and will never come to disturb again." After Lai Zongping said a few words, looking at the younger sister-in-law, still confused, revealing one's ugly true self, rushing towards Jai Yang with a flirtatious demeanor. I want to dance the cha-cha with him in my dreams. After being harassed for a whole night, Jai Yang, the next day feeling completely drained. After being harassed by Lai Zongping every night for a few days, Jai Yang finally couldn't take it anymore. He found this matter quite strange. So they found Sister Jin Lion. The two sisters gathered together to discuss. It turns out they all dreamed of Lai Zongping. This matter is filled with strange occurrences. But if we don't resolve it completely, Jai Yang is about to be harassed by Lai Zongping every night. So Jin Lion could only choose. Open Lai Zongping's tomb. Let's see what tricks are hidden inside. Jin Lion hire someone to pry open Lai Zongping's coffin. At the moment it was opened, a foul-smelling white mist suddenly sprang out from the coffin. Lai Zongping in the coffin. With a pained expression, both hands moved forward. Looking again at his hands, it has already become blurred. Moreover, on the coffin lid, there are also many traces of scratching the head. Seeing this, I believe you all have guessed it. At that time, Lai Zhangping was not really dead, but instead fell into a state of suspended animation and was buried alive. Lai Zhangping wakes up after being buried, but at that time he was already calling for help without a response. Calling my younger brother doesn't work, and only let myself suffocate slowly. In the end, Lai Zhangping was buried again. From that moment on, Jin Lion and Jai Kengliang never dreamed of him again. Beautiful women randomly sent spicy photos. Little did they know it was all a scam. Lai Zhangping is still young, yet has stepped onto the peak of life. But recently, strange events have occurred, but always surrounded him. First, it was the garbled emails that arrived every early morning. Then there were beautiful postcards arriving one after another. At first, Lai Zhangping did not pay attention to these. Just feel, the girl on this postcard looks very familiar. But he just couldn't remember who it was. After receiving 4 or 5 postcards, Lai Zhangping found the situation somewhat strange. Because of the girl on the postcard, it seems that only he can see it. Lai Zhangping looked at the postcard in front of him. His complexion turned even paler. He knew he had encountered a ghost. That very night, Lai Zhangping returns home. While holding the newspaper, I found another postcard. The girl in the photo, lying flat on the beach, not knowing what to do all over. How many people are there? But separated by the photo. Lai Zhangping could sense it. The foul smell on that girl. She seems to be dead. Lai Zhangping felt a chill, like a cold, venomous snake, crawling up her leg. She was so scared that she collapsed on the ground. Lai Zhangping wants to report a case. I can think of the woman in this photo. Only he can see it. He is afraid of being seen as a lunatic by the police. After much contemplation, Lai Zhangping suddenly thought of this bizarre event. Of course, we need to find a master to solve this. So he asked an acquaintance for help. According to the address on the postcard, I found the famous master, Song Rentu. Lai Zhangping arrived at the Song Rentu shop. Song Rentu was not very surprised. However, he looked behind at Lai Zhangping again. After looking several times, he pointed at Lai Zhangping beside him and asked, "Young people, the woman next to you, do you know them?" Lai Zhangping was so frightened by this that his face turned angry. He instinctively glanced beside him. But except for the air, who is there beside me? Lai Zhangping shifted closer to the master, trembling and unsteady. Take out the previous postcard for Song Ren. Song Ren too glanced at the postcard. He asked him again if he recognized this woman. Lai Zhangping was taken aback by the question before he could collect his thoughts. Then Song Ren too instructed his disciple to fetch the magical instrument. This magical artifact is called the Sishen Tan Long Jing. The back of the mirror is intricately carved. It just seems a bit old-fashioned. Song Rentu took the bronze mirror from the clothing rack beside. Take down the yellow cloak hanging with ancient bronze coins. He draped the cloak over Lai Zhangping, then instructed Lai Zhangping, reflecting in the bronze mirror, stand in the middle of the room and don't move. After this operation, Lai Zhangping felt utterly perplexed. But when he looked into the bronze mirror, almost scared me to the point of fainting. Because Lai Zhangping looked into the bronze mirror, I saw the woman who appeared in the postcard. At that moment, he was standing behind Lai Zhangping. Lai Zhangping felt that, at this moment, one must turn back. They must have kissed. While Lai Zhangping was in a trance, Song Rentu suddenly shouted loudly, scolded him not to get distracted. Then he and his apprentice divided to break the formation. As the magic circle shrank, Lai Zhangping saw, the woman in the mirror looks as if she is in great pain. The face began to twist. Suddenly Song Ren shouted loudly, "Stick the imperial charm to the back of the bronze mirror." As the imperial talisman descends, the copper mirror in Lai Zhongping's hand started to shake violently. The woman behind him unexpectedly sealed inside the mirror. Lai Zhongping placed the mirror in the circle. He jumped out of the formation himself. In this way, he freed himself from the entanglement of the female ghost. Song Ren too saw things halfway. Pointing at the mirror, he said, "This female ghost seems to have some grievances. Wait for me to clarify the situation, and I will resolve it." Finally, Lai Zhongbing settled the payment, then left the land of Song Rentu, got rid of the female ghost. Lai Zhongbing felt relaxed, planned to celebrate properly. He bought high-quality materials. "I want to lean comfortably against the building downstairs. The wife who has been neglected for many days." But Lai Zhongbing's wife